We got lots of questions that your members have been putting to you, actually, Macro. We dropped a thread, as we always do in your division forums, to see what kind of things people wanted to know about you. I think a couple of them slipped a few questions in to try and get under your skin. We'll try and get through them. Apologies if we don't manage to get your question out. We're going to get through them as quickly as we can, though. Right, are you ready for this, dude?
Sure.
The first one's a bit of a big one, actually, and this member, apologies if I don't pronounce your name correctly, Avenged. First thing he asks is it a lot of work being a division officer?
Yeah, it is. It's time consuming in some areas of it. Really, just the responsibility. I'm a very detailed person, detailed oriented. I want things to be perfect. I'm on every day on the forums and all that stuff. It's so making sure that everything is in its place and everything's on time. Things like that. I mean, it's a tough job. Mainly not with that, but just the fact that it's kind of getting back to from going from practicing twice a week with guys, all that stuff to moving up to a bigger picture, making sure that everyone's happy and healthy, and problems and issues that happen, having to solve them. It is a little tough, man, at times, but it's for the division, man, and I enjoy it. So it's a big change from what I'm used to. So, but it's all good though.
Definitely, and it sounds like you got your hands full at home as well with the little ones running around behind you.
You can hear them though. That's my mic. My mic can pick up everything, and I'll be in a practice, and my kid will come in and decide he's going to scream as loud as he possibly can in that room, and everybody's ears will bleed. So
Good work. Can't wait to see him signed up to TG. Get that control.
There you go. I got a few father and sons in TG, man. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Avenged actually asked another question that ties into the first one really well, actually. He asked, do you consider TG like a second job?
I don't really consider it like a second job. To me, it's a hobby. At times it can be like one. It really can, because everything at work will be fine, and TG something will happen that'll have me pulled away for. It's like, oh great, I got to go home and now deal with the problem.
Yeah, of course.
That happens sometimes. Not as much though. But to me, it's more of a hobby, and it's one of those things that twice a week or something. It's a twice a week hobby. On the game, and then, all the daily forum work and stuff. So
good stuff. Good stuff. So Avenged asks another question, and I love this question, and it's always great to see it coming from a relatively new member. Avenged is currently a private first class in one of your ST squad's Ugly Angels, and it just shows that he wants to move forward in TG. He asks you, what are some of the attributes that you would recommend for an aspiring member who wants to get involved on a higher level within TG?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I'm glad to ask that too. That's the one thing for me as I was moving up as well, is I had that kind of that goal for me set. And what everybody knows me, it's like excellence, man. It's everything I do is I'm doing in excellence. Whatever it's just practice, show the practice, or squad staff, battalion staff, whatever have you. And it's just like real life, It's like your job, it is. So, but to me, it's like I know people can count on me for everything, because it's they know who I am, what I'm all about. And, to me, it's just for somebody like that wants to move up, just like myself or anybody, we move up with that one goal. It's like, if I'm squad staff, I'm going to lead the best squad. I'm going to be first guy on, last guy off kind of thing. And I think if somebody wants to do that, to show that, man, that, we need people like that all the time. I mean, if you're reliable, we need people that's just going to take the lead and just make this community what it's all about. Like I said, with the blood and the arteries, man, I mean, we, with our staff, our battalion staff, we have good battalion staff that are dedicated and show consistency in what they do. That's what makes us who we are, and there's never enough people that we could that we need for that. So, that's a good question. So I'm glad to hear that kind of stuff. So.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. Dibs has got a great question as well, which does tie in really well as well, and you kind of touched on it a little bit. He asks, did you have, and who was your mentor as you worked your own way up through the Battlefield COC?
Oh man, that's a good question. I know, I will be honest though. I did like kind of coming. As I was new coming into the scene, as far as getting up at battalion staff, when Double Death Dealer would ever post something, I was always inspired. I really was, as far as TG was concerned, because it was all about the members. It was all about what we're here for. He likes to give speeches, and I know I like giving speeches. And I practice on something that's like 3 paragraphs long. But I was always really inspired by it. It's like, this is what we're about. This stuff can, the stuff on the forums and the crap that could happen and the issues and stuff like that that could kind of get you sidetracked. But you know, at the end of the day, he's like, oh, this is our goal. This is what we're about, and we got to maintain that. And these other things, you know, these rules and regulations, whether we argue them, people like them or dislike them, you know, it has a purpose, and you know, we have that end goal that we're about, and that's just building a great community that people that are, you know, they love to be a part of. Like my recruits, you know, when I recruit them, they just see community in there. It's like it changes it up. It's like, wow, they actually have that. Like, so they, you know, people don't realize that, oh, they actually have a community. You know, that's a little bit different than a team on game battle or something, you know, or Frag Nation. So, you know, it's kind of keeping that you know, maintaining that community. So I don't know. That to me, I guess you could say I looked at that stuff and realized that I want to be a part of building that. You know, so I guess you could say, yeah, I guess you could say double would have been. But I don't know him that well, but I still, you know, as much as I do now, but. You know, those posts, I always like reading them. So
good stuff. Yeah. Do you know what TG the Professor in our last video said exactly the same? You've said it. I'm pretty sure by the time we get through every single DO, there's going to be a few more mentions of him. He does inspire us all and keeps us all on the straight and narrow as well. Absolutely. Good stuff. I'm really not sure I'm going to pronounce this right, but TG Hyrule, he asks a really nice question actually, and I've kind of looked at it and I've thought, wow, I'd like to answer this myself, but I'm going to ask you. I'm interested to hear what you say. Do you ever miss the squad member life?
You know, man, that is a good question. You know, yeah, I guess you could say I do at times. You know, of just getting on the ground man and just competing, or just kind of, you know, you get to meet the people that you get to know. A lot of people, and that's something I did enjoy most about being in the squad members. You know, you meet the coolest people, and you know, that my first squad was a Raptor squad. I eventually became squad staff in there. You know, those guys were there since the beginning. You know, and there's a few of them are still here, and I was like, you know, you know them for the 2 years. It's like, you know, I talk to some of these guys more than I do the people I work with. You know, so
yeah, absolutely.
I really do. You know. So you get to know them on a different level, and that's something I really miss. I mean, you meet the coolest people, and you know, you really get to know them. So I do miss that aspect of it. So I do. But you know, at the end of the day, it's the same thing. And you know, you move up and you meet other people across divisions, and you know, it's just what we're all about. And to me, it's you know, it's different for me now. So, but I do miss it. So I won't answer that.
Good. We've got a lot of questions actually coming out from TG Slow Defib. He's one of our quite new PRAs actually. I'm not going to pick them all, I'm afraid, dude. But I'm going to pull a couple of out to fire at Macro. The first one is actually a really good one. I like it. How do you keep your interest in Battlefield 3 active and alive?
You know, I take breaks. You know, I do. I take breaks, and I'm on one now. I just, you know, I'll come out and practice, but I won't play as much. Just, you know, other stuff to do, or you know, the game to play, kind of get away from it. But you know, I take my breaks. But really, I like I was saying before, with the Halo, you know, I hopped into Halo and stuff. You know, Battlefield is always my home, and I know it's good for people to move around divisions and stuff to help when they need to. But you know, for me, it's like to me, the best of my jobs, I want to love the game I play, and. And I love Battlefield, always have. So it's one of those things that I can never see myself leaving it, but ever. So to me, it's keeping the interest in it is just, you know, I'll take my breaks, but what really sparks it for me though is where we get a bunch of TG guys together, and I'm talking for a whole team, and have one big epic, you know, game night. You know, man, that keeps it fresh for me. Where I just hop out like, oh, I love that. You know, I love it. We all get on. We get our plan, our battle plans, and break up into squad, you know, fire teams, do all that stuff, and then win. It's like, I mean, that to me is like sparks it in me every time. Like it starts me fresh. So I do love those, and we do them every now and then, you know, and we start planning them out where we could do that. And I don't tell anybody this, but I'm like, you know, I need to just make these things, get everybody to show up just for me, you know, you know, just to keep me alive, you know. But, yeah.
Good plan. I like it. I like your style. I might try that myself actually.
There you go. I'll force it, but I won't tell anybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's underhanded, but I like it.
You know, order to show up because the show needs to get it gets a spark of Battlefield again. So.
Good work. Good stuff. I like it. He's got another question as well that I'm going to pull out, but I'm going to change it a little bit. What he asks is, what position from the past was the best in your opinion? Which one would you like to have in the future? I'm just going to change that up and say, what position is next on your agenda? Do you have aspirations to go higher than a DO, or can you see yourself just happily remaining in that DO position?
You know, man, I never thought I'd go past CO, to be honest with you. I never really wanted to because I love the CO spot, and that was the one I loved just because you know, I could really I'm on the ground working with all the squads just on a personal level. Now I'm kind of differentiated, I guess, from a lot of the stuff that happens. But I love my spot now, man. Absolutely across the board, making now I got things to improve, and I love improving stuff. Always improving. So, but man, I haven't thought about it. Same with going to the brigade commander spot and the deal. I'm going to do my job, not thinking about anything of that. So, I honestly don't know. I most likely, man, I love Battlefield. I can't see myself leaving it. And so I can't say I'm going to plan on doing anything else from this. But man, but stuff changes. I'm always about just improving myself here and growing and doing my part here. So if there's a chance to move up, who knows? But as right now, man, I'm just focusing on my DO spot and do the best job I can.
Good work. Yep, absolutely. Great answer. Thank you for that. The next question, I'm not going to know anything about what you're talking about when it comes to this next question, but all the Battlefield guys will know exactly what you're going to say. So I'm going to use this little theory I've got where if you say anything confidently enough, people will believe it. So I'm just going to agree with whatever you say to this one. Okay. But the Living Craig asks you, what is your favorite Battlefield 3 class and weapons?
I'm always the assault class. I run the AEK and as primary, and 1911 is my secondary. I got my 100 service stars on my AEK now, and I pump that thing. That's what I use. And if I want to be a jerk, I'll bust out the 870 with slugs, and then I'll piss everybody off. So, but I'll be that guy with the shotgun. But really, that's my one thing, man. Is I'm always going back to the assault class. That's just what I do. So I get the revives and all that. I like doing that. People have to correct me, and I allow my members to correct me. That's one thing. If I'm going to lead from the front like I like to, they can critique me, and as long as they're respectful to me, and I'm not going to be a problem. But when I'm in practice, I'm doing it. So, but one of my problems is I'm a little gung ho. So I'll run out and just stack up the tickets, myself if I'm not too careful. So, but yep, that's my class, man. That's what I run. It's my favorite, and so far I think I've gotten more into the assault class than any other class there combined. So that goes to show that's my thing. So.
Excellent, good stuff. I completely agree with you as well, by the way. That's the class I always use as well. Definitely rocking that AR and shotgun, definitely. You see, that confidence thing works, man. You just got to go with it. Good stuff. Bellic Fan 3, again, I love this guy. He's always putting in some great questions for us to ask. And he's got a really good one here. And again, I'm really interested to see what you say. I'm in a similar position with my division, and it's going to be good getting your opinion on this. He asks you, how do you maintain equality and objectivity to all 3 brigades under your command?
It comes down to just right now. There's a lot of new changes, especially with me and the people below me now moving up across the board. So I just have a bunch of new people, and this is a great spot for me. I like this because it's just like I said, there's always room for failures and there's changes and all that stuff, and for people to learn. But for me right now, we're in a great spot because they're kind of getting the vision that I got for Battlefield. And like I said, I take this really far for me as far as a vision for I want this place to be awesome. I want people happy and healthy in here. I want it to grow and keep that environment where TG is never going to be boring. TG is never boring. Yep. And that's where I'm at right now is holding that across the board and all the brigades. And that's got me a little bit I got my guys at 360 doing what they're doing, and I'm just moving across now to where I'm just on the ground a little bit and on team speak with these guys and talking to them, and holding a standard over excellence. It's that standard for me. So it's hard because I'm not on the ground with these guys, not on the game. I only got a 360. But I'm doing everything I can and really entrusting a lot of people over there just to make sure that they're going to take my standards, my vision, and make sure that it happens. And right now I think that's happened, so it's great. But it's a little bit different for me. Usually I'm on practices online, do my thing and doing it that way. Now it's a little different. But by all means, I'm not just going to let them do what they want. Say run it how you want, but to me it's saying this is the standard. And now I'm going to let you do it. And so that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about the team that you have in place, all the way from PL and XO up to your BGC. And I do know exactly where you're coming from. I had the same situation. I came from 360. I had no idea about PS3 and PC. And you really do have to focus your time in on the brigades that you don't necessarily know inside out and take the extra time to get to know them and how they work and the ladders they're on. And it is a tough task, and it takes a long while to get to grips with it. But with the right team, it does make it a lot easier.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good stuff. Thank you for asking those questions, and to everyone who did put those questions out there, thank you for doing so. It's always nice to get these questions out there and try and get under the skin of these people that we're interviewing. Thanks for that. So, where are we now? I mean, we've got Battlefield 3 for a few more months before the new one comes out. What's the future of the division in your mind? Where do you see it progressing to next?
Well, you know, it's just obviously there's always more room for competition. There's always more room for just improving those aspects of it. You know, for Battlefield anyway, that's the big one. Is trying to get out there, and whether it's more inner tournaments kind of stuff, that's always fun that we do enjoy to do. But you know, mainly to me is doing what we did in 360 and moving it as far as what I did anyway, and moving it across the board as far as you know, for squad staff and stuff to hold a really high standard of you know, let's take this to the next level for me. When I hop on a game, you know, in a practice, we're not all just hanging out. Let's play a game and have fun. You know, to me, like, no. I want a goal. Let's set this for our fire team. Okay, this is our fire team's vehicle, infantry, kind of stuff like that. When people come in and it's like, to me, they hop in and it's and they could be a brand new guy in the game, and you know, it isn't about who knows who's friends, and you know, all that stuff. It's about the game. It's like, okay, here's your goal, and here's you know, kind of understand what I'm saying. Like, to me, that takes it to the next level. That's what I want for Battlefield 4 now. I need to be in the spot long enough to say that's what's going to happen, and because to me, it's that's real important, especially in the communities. If people come in, they don't know what TG's about. They don't know how it works. They just think, oh, we're all on here playing a game. I want it to be different. I want it to be like, well, when we're on the game, man, it's about winning as a team and using teamwork. You know, that's what makes the game exciting, and that's what I want, and that's my goal as far as by that time that Battlefield 4 comes out. We got a new game. We don't know what it's going to be like, but all I know is until then, right now, I'm going to make this the best division I can. So,
excellent, good stuff. Good stuff. That's exactly what your members want to hear. It's definitely what I wanted to hear. Wouldn't have expected anything less from you. Excellent. Good stuff. Well, we have rambled on for long enough, and I'm pretty sure that we've got enough game footage for our conversation. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to Macro. It's been a pleasure having you on, dude. Thank you for taking time out.
You. I appreciate it. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
Good stuff. Best of luck for the new release. Best of luck with that transition, and hopefully we can see lots of good things to come from Battlefield in the future.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. In the meantime, guys, make sure you check out the YouTube channel. We've got lots of content going up there. We've got some Let's Plays going on. We're going to have some more interviews for you very soon. But in the meantime, this is Honest. Check it out. See you later.